What you hear in the background is a multi-layered soundscape, perfectly usable if you want to perform a paranormal recording, or further experiments. In this video tutorial, I would like to show you how you can create such background sounds quite easily with any audio editing program. The multi-layers audio method is an extended method of recording for the EVP phenomenon. It involves providing raw material to the unknown entities, so that they can make themselves audible to us. It can be either only human voices, radio broadcasts, or also different sounds such as, for example, static, noises, tones, and so on. There is no limit to the creativity and imagination. This mix of voices, noises and so on were then edited with the software, EVP Maker, from Stefan Bayan, to perform the final audio mix recording. Good. Now it's time to start the project. The first thing we need is some voice material. I have found a site that provides a lot of voices for this purpose. LibriVox is the site, and you can access it at the following address: www.librivox.org. LibriVox is a group of worldwide volunteers who read and record public domain texts, creating free public domain audio books for download from their website and other digital library hosting sites on the internet. It was founded in 2005 by Hugh Maguire to provide acoustical liberation of books in the public domain, and the LibriVox objective is to make all books in the public domain available for free in audio format on the internet. Here, we see a listing of the different languages for which audio books can be downloaded from the LibriVox site. There are really a lot of languages that we can use now. Next, we will search for multilingual audio books. To do this, we entered the word multilingual in the search box. Now all audio books with this category will be listed. Here, I have chosen the audiobook, Multilingual Recordings of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, because it contains many different voices. The file needs to be downloaded now. A click on the name, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Volume 2, starts the download. The file size is quite large with about 326 megabytes, and it can take a while until it is downloaded on the PC. Next, we extract the file using WinRAR. First we create a new directory, copy the file in this directory and click extract here on the file name. All files will now be listed. So, what do these voices sound like? Let's click and hear on some files.
The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights 联合国世界人权宣言与和平的基础，经常明念本宣言保护，以免受违反本宣言的任何
Pernyataan umum tentang hak-hak asasi manusia, versi bahasa Indonesia. Progresif yang bersifat nasional berhak atas bantuan yang efektif dengan politik, atau karena perbuatan-perbuatan.
Powszechna Deklaracja Praw Człowieka Organizacji Narodów Zjednoczonych. Nagranie LibriVox pod względem swej godności, prawo, aby przyrodzenie małżeństwa podczas jego trwania i po jego ustaniu.
We start any audio software. In this tutorial, I work with Adobe Audition 1.5. In the open window we can listen to the different files.
Pernyataan Umum Hak-Hak Asasi Manusia.
The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Η Παγκόσμια Διακήρυξη των Ανθρωπίνων Δικαιωμάτων.
Iki rekaman LibriVox sedaya
After that, we click on the files we want to load, while holding down the Control key. If possible, choose audio files with languages you don't understand. I have chosen the 8 voices that are shown here. There were male, as well as female voices. All files will now be loaded into the software. Now, we normalize all the voice files. To do this, we call up the menu, Effects, Amplitude, Normalize, leave the normalize value at 100% and click OK. The file has now been amplified to its maximum level. Normalization is used to raise the overall level of a file to its maximum. Now we normalize all the audio files in the same way. In the end, all files will have approximately the same level, meaning the same constant volume. Now, we have to delete all the areas that we do not need in the file. To do this, we listen to each individual file, and leave only the desired audio range with the language we have selected.
The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. 联合国世载的任何权利和自由的活动或行为。End of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Všeobecná deklarácia lidských práv v českém jazyce. Toto je konec Všeobecné deklarácie. Namluvil Miroslav Šedivý v září 2000.
The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Hungarian version. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in a public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Diana Meilinger. Emberi jogok egyetemes nyilatkozata. Fejtsen ki, vagy ilyen cselekményt elkövessen. End of the Universal Declaration of
After editing all these files, we need to transfer them to the multitrack editor. We select all the files, and with the right mouse button, we select the menu, Insert into Multitrack. We switch to the Multitrack window. All 8 voice files are listed here. Now we can either play all the voices together, or individual voices for monitoring purposes. To do this, we click on the S symbol. The channel with the voice will be played back individually.
To nadaní rozumem a svědomím a mají spolu jednat.
Sem szabad elítélni oly cselekményért vagy mulasztásért, mely elkövetésért
merdeka dan mempunyai martabat dan hak-hak yang sama.
Now we need to prolong the length of each tracks, so that the multi-voices file will be extended in time. To do this, you click on each individual voice track on the left, and drag it to the right side of the track editor. Then place it at the end of the track. The voice has now lengthened by the length of the voice file. Now continue in this way with all the voices on the left side. Any length can be created. All voices must now be adjusted to the same duration. Choose the position where you want to cut all the tracks, and move the play cursor to that position. Select the first track. Select Split Clip from the top menu. The track will be cut at this point. Delete it with the delete button, and proceed with all the other tracks in the same way. As the next step, all audio channels are positioned differently, and randomly on the right and left side of the stereo panorama. At the same time we also change the volume of each channel. To do this, we move the mouse pointer into the V field, which is the volume, and into the pan field, which is the stereo panorama setting, and with the left mouse button pressed, we move the mouse to the right or left. This changes the current value. Now we randomly change the values of all tracks. It is best to make these changes while the file is playing, so that we can monitor the changes live. Do it now, for all tracks. Other variations can now be made. For example, we can reverse individual files. To do this, we switch to the edit view and select the desired file.
世界人权宣言，联合国大会
Then, we select the reverse function in the effects menu. As soon as the function has been applied, we switch back to the multi-track view, and check whether the file has been reversed. In this way, we continue with the other tracks.
Pernyataan umum tentang hak-hak asasi manusia, versi bahasa Indonesia. Ini adalah perekam LibriVox. Semua
Other
perekam
effects can also be executed in this way. There are no limits to your imagination.
Pernyataan umum tentang hak-hak asasi manusia. Mumbuk natang rep halenak maker. Ini ay tsunami sasakah kahangat net mumbuk natang rep reka. Mumbuk natang rep halenak maker. Ini ay tsunami sasakah kahangat net mumbuk nat.
At this point, all the individual tracks must be merged into a single file. With the keyboard shortcut, Ctrl-A, we select all tracks and choose in the menu the function, Mix Down, Selected Waves. Depending on the speed of the computer, this function takes more or less time. After finishing the merging, we are in the wave editor. Here, we can check our rendered voices again, to identify any errors. Next, we convert the rendered audio file. In the Edit menu, we select the Convert Sample Type command. Then, click in Sample Rate, 44,100. After that, by channels we click on Stereo, and for resolution, on 16-bit. The file will be now converted to the selected format. Finally, we check the conversion. In the menu, View, we select the function, Wave Properties. EVP Maker is an experimental software for generating acoustic raw material for recordings of paranormal tape voices, also known as EVP, electronic voice phenomena. For this purpose, the program divides any recorded sound into short segments, and then plays them back continuously in random order. The resulting gibberish still has the sound of the original language, but is no longer understandable, and is therefore useful as background audio for EVP recordings. You can think of EVP Maker as a kind of sound meat grinder. Just like a meat grinder cuts whole pieces of meat into chopped meat, EVP Maker chops sound, for example speech, into small pieces, so-called segments. To do this, it takes any sound file in wave format, chops it into small audio segments, and then plays this chopped sound through the speakers connected to the PC's sound card. Just as a meat grinder has different chopping attachments for coarser or finer minced meat, the EVP Maker also allows you to change the segment size between 0.001 and 10 seconds. If you're lucky and listen carefully, you might discover hidden personal messages in this gibberish. Now, I will demonstrate a little bit how I edit the multi-voices file with the EVP Maker. In a later video, I will introduce the EVP Maker in a more detailed way, because there are incredibly many interesting features to discover, which would go beyond the time limit in this video. We launch the EVP Maker, and open the previous rendered file, mixdown.wav. With play, we will play the file. No audible changes have been made yet. Now press Make EVP, and listen to the magic. From now on, I will go through different settings, so that you have an idea. of how the audio sounds. I'll be silent now. This feature is absolutely fantastic. Listen carefully. No audio artifacts are audible during the speed change. This has been implemented in a brilliant technical way. Another awesome feature is the addition of echo. An audio reversing function is also available. And finally, I will show you an example with radio noise. Also with static, or any other sounds can be processed with the EVP Maker in the same way. There are no limits to your imagination. I hope the video has inspired you enough to create a multi-voice file yourself. Have you also produced some interesting multi-voice files? Write it down in the comment field below. More interesting videos and tutorials will follow soon. Stay tuned.